yet again. This is search in the Gemini era. So let's dig in.
So what is search in Gemini era, and how does it concern Pilates studios, yoga studios, and other boutique fitness? If you don't know, Google just had their big presentation about generative experience AI that's coming to all Google searches by the end of 2024. And this has been an experimental feature already, and it's been rolling out slowly to people who wanted to test it, but slowly it's coming to more and more users, which means that it can change how people are searching for businesses, for information, but also for their local businesses, which is exactly what we want to talk about. It's rarely that Google gives us a very specific advice of what it's going to look like for our industry. So let's listen to what Google has to say, what comes for search for Pilates studios in near future.
You've heard today about AI overviews and how helpful people are finding them. With AI overviews, Google does the work for you. Instead of piecing together all the information yourself, you can ask your question. And as you see here, you can get an answer instantly, complete with a range of perspectives and links to dive deeper. As Sundar shared, AI overviews will begin rolling out to everyone in the US, starting today, with more countries soon. And by the end of the year, AI overviews will come to over 1 billion people in Google search. But this is just the first step. We're making AI overviews even more helpful for your most complex questions.
And this is exactly where the most important part of this presentation for you as a Pilates studio owner or future Pilates studio owner is. So listen in.
The type that are really more like 10 questions in one. You can ask your entire question with all its sub-questions and get an AI overview in seconds. To make this possible, we're introducing multi-step reasoning in Google search, so Google can do the researching for you. For example, let's say you've been trying to get into yoga and Pilates. Finding the right studio can take a lot of research. There's so many factors you need to consider. Soon you'll be able to ask search to find the best yoga or Pilates studios in Boston and show you details on their inter-offers and the walking time from Beacon Hill.
All right, let's pause here for a second. Obviously, it looks like our keynote speaker here doesn't know a whole lot about yoga, Pilates, so she kind of jumbles them all together as one, but we know better than that. So what this prompt or this feature suggests is that people can start searching in different ways. Right now, when a person is looking to find a Pilates studio or a yoga studio in their area, the most common search is something like Pilates near me, Pilates classes near me, Pilates studio near me, or Pilates studio plus your location, your city name. With the world of AI and chat GPTs and everything else, people are getting used to asking these more complex questions. Now, granted, it's not going to be an overnight transformation. Most of the people are still searching the old way using just a couple of different keywords. They're not going to be typing out this long conversations into the Google search as if they're talking to their friend. However, some younger generations, they're already getting used to this type of search, this type of typing. The more they use these tools, these AI tools, the more they're going to be used to them. And this can be the future of search, not just for Pilates studios, not just for yoga studios or anything like that, but it can be a future of search for multiple local businesses.
As you can see here, Google gets to work for you, finding the most relevant information and bringing it together into your AI overview. You get some studios with great ratings and their introductory offers.
Now, here's the part that looks very interesting to me in this new AI search. Google's presenting us with the options, so we can take a look at the scars that they're giving us as examples. So, for example, this is obviously a yoga place and Pilates place. It's all a mixed match. They're giving us directions, how far away the specific studio is from Beacon Hill, And it also gives us the intro offers. Now, my question is like, where's all this data coming from? And we can kind of get a glimpse of where it's all coming from in just a little bit after watching the video. But pay attention, there's the name, the image, which is going to be very visual. There's going to be the number of reviews that a studio has. We also have the distance, which is obviously it has some information about the location, and also the intro offers there. All right, let's keep going.
See the distance for each. Like this one, it's just a 10-minute walk away. Right below, you see where they're located, laid out visually. And you've got all.
So this is obviously tells us that some of this information gets pulled up from the Google business profile or Google Maps listing for your business. That's why it's so important already right now just to start filling out that information. I see so many studio owners who just they just set it up once, they set up their Google business profile and never touch it again. Over the past, I would say like year, Google has been rolling out different features, new options for the Google business profile almost monthly. Anything from different services, different categories, different options, different ways to add products and the pricing and the intro offers, all kinds of different things. And if you just log in and just check those settings maybe once a year or every couple of months, you're not taking advantage of those.
All this from just a single search. Under the hood, our custom Gemini model acts as your AI agent, using what we call multi-step reasoning. It breaks your bigger question down into all its parts, and it figures out which problems it needs to solve and in what order.
So this, we can see it's almost like keywords that people are used to using right now for search terms. The same type of analogy or logic is used by the AI. So some of this information will be pulled in from that AI analyzing data that's provided to Google through different forms. So this can be the Google business profile, your website. It can also use social media profiles for some of this possibly. Again, this is not confirmed, but we'll see exactly where more of this data is coming from. Kind of get a hint from Google, I can say.
And thanks to our real-time info and ranking expertise, it reasons using the highest quality information out there. So since you're asking about places, it taps into Google's index of information about the real world with over 250.
Here we go. We can see the information that's highlighted. These are the reviews. This is so important to keep asking your clients to leave reviews on your Google business profile. Most of them are not going to mind. They're not going to stop coming to your studio just because you ask them for a review. And if you ask them before, ask again. People forget. They're busy. You know how it is. If somebody asks you, you can forget things 10 times as well. Just ask, remind them, send them a direct link. Don't ask them just search for my studio on Google Maps and then find a way how you can leave a review. Send them a link. Text them, email them, ask them at the studio after a session. And we can also see the open hours that have already been a ranking factor since the end of 2023 for Google. So making sure that this open hours are set up on your Google business profile and give them kind of a little bit more of a generous timeline so that your studio can be shown. Also, we can see over here a little bit of icon for the map, which is obviously your location on the maps, which is super important to show it, and the promos, which can be set up using Google business posts or updates. You can set up promos, offers, you can set up like update posts and things like that. So all of this can be coming from your Google business profile. Now we've seen what Google tells us is going to happen in the future. We don't know how soon that's going to happen, but let's see what's actually going on right now. So as a comparison, I pulled up a similar search, something that people are more used to actually typing in right now is Pilates studio in Boston. We can see what types of results Google is showing us. First of all, one interesting thing that over here we have some of the suggested searches that a lot of people are using. For example, for beginners, Open Now, online classes, Reformer, and so on and so forth, classical. So this is some of the terms that people are typing in. That's why Google highlights them over here. Now, under our suggested searches, we can see Google Maps listings, so Google business profiles. These are the ones that I was mentioning earlier, that information that's super important to fill out and update regularly. Then we have a studio website here, ClassPass listing, an article, actually an older one about top studios, Boston magazine there, and then we have some questions, which this ones don't necessarily lead us to any studios. I don't think these are very helpful questions because, for example, this result, this why is Pilates so expensive, it pulls up an article from Singapore, it has nothing to do with Boston, but anyway, I'm sure Google will be improving those. Then we have another website, more ClassPass. Forums, again, this has been new in the past about 6 months. Google has been really highlighting these items. You might not see them if you're not in this big metro area where a lot of people are searching Reddits and other things like that. And again, like some other MindBody, Yelp listings, and then we have another like Club Pilates, more questions, more searches, and then finally more studios. So there are not that many studios that are actually showing up as just website links at the top of Google. These results are going to be different on mobile devices, and I will say that on mobile, more people are searching for local places than on desktop right now. However, this just shows us how important it is right now to start preparing for the future of Google search. And what it means is that I will give you like 3 items to keep in mind. 1, make sure that you're optimizing your Google business profile properly. Set it up correctly, your proper categories, everything. And I can link to a quick checklist tool that you can use just to see if you have optimized your profile. Keep filling it out. 2, your website. Even though not many websites are showing up, it's becoming more and more difficult to show up for some of those more competition areas. The websites are still showing up, and Google is still pulling in some of the data from the websites to show some of those Google business profiles as well. They're linked together. If for some of the searches, and I was not able to see it in Boston, but I have seen some of the social profiles or media from the social profiles showing up in Google searches. So for example, I've seen Instagram videos, TikTok videos, YouTube videos pulling in as part of the results on Google. So if you're active on those platforms, keep doing that as well, so that when that generative AI experience, the Gemini era of search comes, your studio is prepared. Now, one final tip I want to give you before we end this video. Start building your email list. No matter what Google does with their search, as long as you have subscribers on your email list, these are the people that you can contact regardless of how much Google search changes their results. This is your property that lists all of those emails. You can contact those people. You can market to them. Even if they're not ready to sign up for your services right now, chances are they will be. Maybe 6 months, maybe a year. Start building it out, and that way you can future-proof your business.